Hello class, and welcome to video 27 on leadership, part number 3. So as we talk about what determines your leadership style, there are 3 major forces that will affect it. First is the manager or leader himself or herself, your own inclinations towards leadership. Are you more inclined to be people-oriented or task-oriented? Second are the followers, the people you're leading. Do they have maturity level? Are they theory X or theory Y type persons? And third is the situation in which you find yourself, which may be the most important and can override the first 2 considerations. So let's look at forces in the manager. You have your own personal value system. You have a level of confidence in your subordinates and your own leadership inclinations and your own tolerance for uncertainty. My favorite example for this is when I was at Arizona State in graduate school. We had a football coach named Frank Kush. Frank Kush was a typical football coach, very task-oriented, theory X. He went to some management workshops, learned about theory Y and being more people-oriented, so he decided to try that in football camp that fall when they opened up their football camp, and he abandoned it after about 2 or 3 days. He said, I can't stand what's happening, tolerance for uncertainty. His own inclinations were to be task-oriented. He said the players are loafing on me. He didn't have much confidence in them, and that just wasn't his value system. So it just didn't work. Second, forces in the follower. Do they have the need for independence? Do they want to be independent and make their own decision? Are they ready for responsibility? Can they put up with uncertainty in what may or may not happen? Are they interested in the problem or the situation? Do they identify with organizational goals, have the knowledge and experience to deal with the situation, and what do they expect? So when I am teaching a group of freshmen, for example, they want me to tell them everything. They want me to tell them what to do and what to study and what's going to be on the test. And so I have a different leadership style with them than I do, say, when I'm doing a strategic management workshop with a group of managers running their own business that expect to participate and know a lot of what's going on and are interested in the problem or the situation. And lastly, forces in the situation which can override the other 2. Things such as the organizational values and traditions. Does the organization value people, or does it value getting the job done? Think of the difference between a religious organization and the military, for example. The size of the organization can make a difference. You can be very task-oriented and almost a micromanager with a small company. With a large company, you're going to have to learn to delegate. And how well the followers work together. Do you need to intervene, or can they cooperate together and get the job done? The nature of the problem. Does a problem suit itself to a people-oriented style or task-oriented? We're going to see more of that in just a minute as we try to apply this. The time pressure. Do you have time for participation, or do you just need to make a quick decision? And so let's try to apply this. What is the best leadership style? We'll just stick with task versus people in this situation. You are the production manager of a company, a manufacturing plant, and you have a rush order. The order has to be done by the end of the week or you lose the sale. Should you be task-oriented or people-oriented? The answer is you need to be task-oriented to get the job done. You don't have time for anything else. Hopefully you've already built a good relationship before this and this will work. What about this situation? You are still the production manager in this manufacturing plant and you have an order that has to be, quality has to be just right. Now you don't have a deadline time-wise, but the quality has to be right in order to keep the customer. Should you be task or people-oriented? This is a tricky one. You need to be tasked to design the quality system and engineering the tolerances very close so the quality's right, but people are the ones who make quality happen. So both. What about this situation? You want to introduce a change. You want to change the work week to 4 10-hour days, for example, or just something minor. You want to move the water cooler. Should you be task or people-oriented? Well, you need to be people-oriented because they are going to be affected by this change, and they may have ideas of how to make that change happen in a way that will be better than you thought of. But you still have to maybe set the parameters and let them decide on how it's going to be implemented. You might say, we have to go to a 4-day work week, but how's the best way to do that? Should we have flexible time that you come in, or have everybody come in at the same time, and so forth? What about this situation? I call it a personality conflict. Let's make it severe. You come into work and 2 of your employees are having a fist fight. Should you be task-oriented or people-oriented? Kind of a trick question. You have to be tasked to break up the fight. Okay, you guys, break it up right now and get in my office. That's task-oriented. And people-oriented to resolve the underlying problem. Once they're in your office, you say, okay, Joe, tell me what's going on, and Bill, you'll get your chance in a minute, and you try to work through the problem. So you have to be able to be both task and people-oriented, which is the major message I'm giving with this leadership style analysis. So let's talk about some other terms that you may run across and other approaches to leadership. One is dealing with transformational and transactional leadership. A transformational leader is leadership that inspires followers to adopt the values and goals of the leader and put aside their own self-interest for the good of the organization. That's a transformational leader. A transactional leader, this leadership is based on a reciprocal exchange of something of value. People feel like if they follow you, they'll get something, and you tell them that what you're going to benefit of them following you. Charismatic leadership is leadership idealized by followers who develop a strong emotional attachment to the leader. So first, let's look at a transformational leader in this short little video, which you'll probably enjoy next.
Thinks it's a waste of time.
A waste of... Try this one. Okay. There's a guitar pick. You pluck along with me, okay? If you can. Stay right there. Don't move. Piano man, front and center. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence? You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Try this out for me, okay? Just give this a try on my count, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yes. Come on, now touch me, babe.
So there you see, transformational leadership. He's trying to get them to adopt his style.
He shall be rocking in my room. Stop. That's perfect. You're perfect. Stay right there, okay?
Okay, so that was transformational leadership. Now let's talk about transactional leadership, where I get something of value and you do too. Here we go. This is from one of my favorite videos.
This part of my life is called internship.
1200 building is Medley Industrial and Senko Oil. The building across the street is Lee Ray Shipping. In a couple of weeks, you'll get call sheets with the phone numbers of employees from every Fortune 500 company in the financial district. You will be pulling from 60 Fortune companies. You will mainly be cold calling potential clients. But if you have to have lunch with them, have breakfast with them, if you even have to babysit them, you will do whatever it takes to familiarize them with our packages. We need you to match their needs and goals to one of our many financial plans. In essence, you reel them in, we'll cook the fish.
Whoever brought in the most money after 6 months was usually hired.
Hello, Mr. Walter Hall.
We were all working our way up call sheets to sign clients. from the bottom to the top, from the doorman to the CEO. They'd stay till 7, but I had Christopher. I had to do it 6 hours, but they'd do it 9.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
In order not to waste any time, I wasn't hanging up the phone in between calls.
Okay, thank you very much.
I realized that by not hanging up the phone, I gained another 8 minutes a day.
Why, good morning to you. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
I also wasn't drinking water, so I didn't waste any time in the bathroom.
Yes, I'd love to have the opportunity. Okay, no problem at all, sir. Thank you very much.
But even doing all this, after 2 months, I still didn't have time to work my way up a sheet.
Walter Ribbon's office.
Yes, hello. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Mr. Walter Ribbon.
Concerning?
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
Just a moment.
Hello? Mr. Ribbon. Well, hello, sir.
Okay, so that's enough of that. The video froze up, but you'll see that was a good example of transactional theory. The intern was doing work which benefited the business, and in return he was hoping to get a job. It's from a great movie called Pursuit of Happiness. I endorse it. Now, the leader-member exchange approach recognizes there's no such thing as consistent leader behavior across subordinates. Leaders should classify subordinates as in-group members who have a common bond and value system and interact with the leader, and out-group members who have less in common with their leader and don't share much with her or him. So you have employees 1 and 2 on this graph who are in the in-group, and employees 3, 4, and 5 who are in the out-group. And in the out-group, there's more of a formal relationship, whereas with the in-group, there's this likability, interpersonal compatibility, subordinability, more of an informal relationship. Let's look at a short video that illustrates this.
Dick, why are you dressed like that? What makes you feel like you can come to work without any pants?
Amanda, Mr. Jones does not mind if I do not wear pants. He is such a cool boss. You should play poker with us once in a while.
Dick, be careful when hanging out with the boss. Sometimes it's not appropriate to mix business with pleasure.
Girl, please. You are talking about the same guy that lets me leave early without clocking out. I think you might be jealous. I am the only person who has to work on weekends, while everyone is out spending time with their families. He recognizes my hard work and rewards me with special privileges.
I am really sorry. I understand you do so much for the company.
Okay, so in that little video that you just saw, the guy was in the in-group and the girl was in the out-group. Okay, the next approach is called the path-goal theory of leadership. The path goal is based on the expectancy theory of motivation. We're motivated by expected rewards. And the ability to accomplish a goal and the reward. So we try to develop the ability to get the goal done that would lead to rewards. These rewards are valued. Examples are of the following leadership styles are shown on the video that follows: directive leadership, supportive leadership, participative leadership, and achievement-oriented leadership, all part of the path goal theory.
I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Sir, yes, sir.
If you ladies leave my island, if you survive recruit training, you will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. There is no racial bigotry here.
These men are special trained by SAS. They have lots of experience. They protected the clerk.
Yes, sir, but it doesn't mean that they have to come.
You asked for more men, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I asked.
When people see me in public, they see my bodyguards. You represent me directly. The Rainbow Nation starts here. Reconciliation starts here.
Reconciliation, sir.
Yes, reconciliation, Jason.
Comrade President, not long ago these guys tried to kill us. Maybe even these 4 guys in my office tried and often succeeded.
Yes, I know. Forgiveness starts here too. Forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. That is why it is such a powerful weapon. Please, Jason. Try.
How about the budget?
And the taxes. Don't pay the list.
Anyone want better roads?
Will.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. A lot of paper to tell us we need clean water. Need clean water, guys?
Aye.
This is the easiest job I've ever had. We're out of here.
I am William Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You come to fight as 3 men. And 3 men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? Against that? No! We will run! And we will live. Alright? Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And lying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our wives, but they'll never take our freedom?
Okay, back to the path goal leadership that those 4 styles were associated with. It's necessary for a leader to influence the follower's perception of work goals, self-development goals, and paths to goal attainment in the path goal leadership model. The foundation, again, for the model is the expectancy theory, and there are 2 types of situation or contingency variables considered in the model. They are the personal characteristics of the subordinate and the environmental pressures and demands with which the subordinate must cope. So what you can do is increase subordinates' motivation to attain personal goals and organizational goals by clarifying the subordinate's path to available rewards. So you want this promotion, you want this raise, you want this position, here's how you get there, and increasing the rewards they value. And if you get there, we'll give you even more money, or whatever it may be. Path clarification means that the leader helps subordinates learn the behaviors that will lead to the task accomplishment and rewards. Here's what you need to do to get ahead. So putting that into a visual model, here's the way it looks. Path clarification. The leader defines what the follower must do to attain work outcomes. The leader clarifies the follower's work role. The follower then has increased knowledge and competence to accomplish the outcome because the leader has told him what he must do to get there. And then the follower will be more motivated. That's path clarification. The other side is to increase rewards. The leader learns the follower's needs and matches the follower's needs to rewards if the work and outcomes are accomplished. And the leader increases the value of work outcomes of the follower, and that also leads to increased motivation on the part of the follower. And organizational work then is accomplished and outcomes are achieved. Three contingencies of path goal then are leader behavior and style, situational contingencies, and the use of rewards to meet subordinate needs. So we saw in that video just a minute ago, supportive leadership, directive leadership, participative leadership, and achievement-oriented leadership. Situational contingencies include characteristics of group members such as ability, skills, needs, and motivations. Achievement-oriented leadership sets challenging objectives for subordinates. So we saw William Wallace, fight for your freedom. Shows confidence in subordinates and assists them in achieving high goals. Charismatic leaders have a combination of charm and personal magnetism that contribute to a remarkable ability to get other people to endorse their vision and promote it passionately. So one of those videos you saw showed a charismatic leader that you all are aware of in South Africa trying to do that. Two types of charismatic leaders. One is the visionary charismatic leader. I would say that was probably like Gandhi in India. Through communication ability, this leader links followers' needs and goals to job or organizational goals. And crisis-based charismatic leader communicates clearly what actions need to be taken and what their consequences will be. So when the Twin Towers were taken down on 9/11 and President George W. Bush climbed up on the rubble with the megaphone with the flag in the background and said, here's what we're going to do, he became a charismatic leader based on that crisis. Some contemporary leadership approaches. There are four that we're going to highlight. Level 5 leadership, which is given to us by a guy named Jim Collins in his great book, Good to Great. Servant leadership by a guy named Greenleaf. Authentic leadership and interactive leadership dealing with gender differences. So first one is the level 5 leadership, and I'm going to ask you if you know who these guys are. Darwin Smith, ever heard of him? Well, he's the CEO of Kimberly-Clark Company. What about Coleman M. Mockler, the CEO of Gillette? What about Charles R. Cork Walgreen III? Probably guessed that by his name, CEO of Walgreens. What about Alan L. Wurtzel? He was the CEO of Circuit City. What about Joseph F. Coleman III, CEO of Nucor Steel Company? So, you've never heard of those guys, most of them, but they are very successful leaders. So let's talk about different types of leaders. The first are level 1. These are highly capable individuals that make productive contributions through their talent, knowledge, skills, and good work habits. Then you move up to level 2, contributing team member. Contributes individual capabilities to the achievement of group objectives and works effectively with others in a group setting, a good, valuable team member. Then you get what we call a competent manager, level 3. Organizes people and resources towards the effective and efficient pursuit of predetermined objectives. A level 4 leader catalyzes commitment to and vigorous pursuit of a clear and compelling vision, stimulating higher performance standards. And that's usually about as far as we go. But Jim Collins in Good to Great introduced us to something called a level 5 leader or level 5 executive, building enduring greatness through a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will. So, if you're a level 4, you're like Lee Iacocca, who recently passed away, a genius with 1,000 helpers. He set a vision, so he took over Chrysler Company, who was in deep, deep trouble, set a vision for where the company should go, where to drive the bus, we're saying, and developed a roadmap for getting there, and then enlisted a crew of highly capable helpers to make the vision happen. And it was very successful until he died. And then after he died, Chrysler kind of went to pot because he was the genius behind it all. A level 5 leader in these good to great companies first determines who he should hire, get the right people on the bus, build a superior executive team, and then what? Once you have the right people in place, figure out the best path for greatness. So level 5 leaders blend extreme personal humility with intense professional will. So they are humble, but they want to get things done. They're not seeking self-importance. no pretense, a fierce resolve toward life. So it's humility plus will as a level 5 leader. The ambitions are for the company. Level 5 leaders combine this humility with professional will to achieve the mission. Their ambitions for the company rather than their own ego gratification. They're modest, self-effacing, and understated. At the same time, they drive to produce sustained results. They do whatever it takes, big jobs and small ones, to make the department or company great. I remember the CEO of Southwest Airlines when it first got started, Herb Kelleher, and he wanted Southwest Airlines to have the fastest turnaround time and the best customer service. And when he would take a flight on his own airlines, he would be out on the tarmac helping load the bags so that they could take off quicker. And when they got into the flight, he would get up with the flight attendants and serve the peanuts and the drinks, trying to give that great customer service. They attribute success to others and take responsibility for failure. So when the company's doing great, they'll say, no wonder we're great. Look at this great team I have. And when things are going bad, they'll look at themselves in the mirror and say, it's my fault for not being a better leader, that we're not doing better. So how do you become a level 5 leadership? Begin practicing the other good to great disciplines, and these are in Jim Collins' book, which we're not going to cover all the time. But what we're saying is do things the way a level 5 leader would do, and you'll become a level 5 leader. Servant leadership. This work exists for the development of the worker. We say that you as a leader are there to help develop workers. Servant leaders transcend self-interest to serve others. Servant leaders give away power, ideas, information, recognition, and even credit and money. But they view their jobs as helping their subordinates to become better and achieve the goals. Authentic leadership. These are leaders who know and understand themselves, espouse, and act with higher order ethical values. They stay true to their own values and beliefs and inspire trust and commitment. They respect diverse viewpoints and encourage collaboration. And they help others to learn, grow, and develop as leaders. So here are the components of authentic leadership. Pursues purpose with passion, practices solid values, connects with others, demonstrates self-discipline, and leads with the heart as well as the head. Now let's get to the last one, which is gender differences. This is associated with level 5 leaders and what we call female leadership. Interactive leadership means that the leader favors a consensual and collaborative process, which seems to be more important in today's world, and it seems that women have a natural inclination to do that better than men. Influence derives from relationship rather than the position power and formal authority. So here is results of a study of different leadership ability. Who does it best, men or women? And this is from a 2012 leadership study. Develops others. Who does it best? Women are rated higher. Drives for results. I bet most of you would guess men there. But women are rated higher. Inspires and motivates others. Women are rated higher for that too. Well, I'm seeing a trend. Innovates the best. Men and women are about equal on that. Builds relationships. Definitely women rated higher. Technical or professional expertise. Again, men and women are rated about equally for that. Now, there's one final thing you need to understand, and that's what we call substitutes for leadership. These are characteristics that render the relationship or task-oriented leadership style is not only impossible, but also unnecessary. It may be the nature of the task itself. We don't need a leader to tell us to run out of a burning building. It might be organizational characteristics. The way we're organized means that we don't really need a leader. It might be the nature of the subordinates you're leading. They don't need a leader. You got a bunch of research scientists. They know what they're doing. They don't need you to tell them what to do. For example, an experienced, well-trained, knowledgeable employee doesn't need a leader to structure the task. Now, I thought I'd end with what I call the 10 Commandments of Leadership that I developed when I was teaching leadership workshops, and I put it into a little booklet. I'm just going to cover these quickly. First is a leader should have a vision. And second, the leader has to be able to communicate effectively what that vision is. Third, A leader needs to know how and be willing to delegate. You can't try to do everything yourself. It will ruin it all. Fourth, be able to solve problems and conflicts and make decisions. Fifth, you should develop your subordinates and help them to improve and grow. 6, have a genuine concern for followers. In other words, love the people you're leading. 7, be a motivator. That's why we had a whole section on motivation. 8, know how to make and execute plans so people will know where you're going. 9, be engaged in personal growth and development. I kind of view life like you're on an escalator. It's a down escalator. So if you're not putting forth effort, you're declining. You need to continually be trying to improve. And 10, have a proper self-image. Not too egotistical, but not too self-effacing. Okay, so kind of to end this, we're going to look at 6 leadership styles really quickly, and that will end the session.
See those little black boxes? They're called telephones. I'm going to let you on a little secret about these telephones. They're not going to dial themselves, okay? Without you, they're just worthless hunks of plastic. Like a loaded M16 without a trained Marine to pull the trigger. And in the case of the telephone, it's up to each and every one of you. You highly trained Stratonites. My killers! My killers who will not take no for an answer. They don't know your heart.
I do. I've seen it. You have shown it to me. You have shown this coaching staff, your teammates. You have shown yourselves just exactly who you are in here. When you take that field today, you've got to lay that heart on the line, man.
You don't have to be the bad guy. You are the most talented, most interesting, and most extraordinary person in the universe. And you are capable of amazing things because you are this special. And so am I. And so is everyone.
Lojenton miren mas me isa. Iderenakop sa vertagom isa.
Laban, Squadras, Rezikil.
You leave tonight.
I want this mark all the way back to Earth with time to spare. We never lost an American in space. We're sure as hell not going to lose one on my watch. Failure is not an option. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir.
Okay, we've seen that already, so let's stop at this point. This is the end of our leadership module. I hope you've enjoyed it. There is another module where we're dealing with another approach to leadership in Module 7. Thank you for your attention.